How do I find a virgin girl who's actually good looking? I live up to my own standards.
What?
I know, right? Literally,
A virgin
what?
girl that's good looking. Well, somebody that is probably super religious, so going to church, whatever kind of, whether you're Christian or you're Muslim or whatever it happens to be, it's the value system is what you're looking for. You're looking for a girl who has been taught by her family and her peer group and her community that you should save yourself for marriage. And in this day and age, that's pretty rare, but they are out there. Typically, they're going to be younger. And so church, people, hang out with people who have that value system. Going out to bars and nightclubs and hoping you're going to meet a virgin to live happily ever after and have a Disney love story is kind of ridiculous and absurd. And so people that have that value system are going to typically be more religious. And so it really depends on what type of religion, what are your spiritual beliefs, and that's where you should spend more of your time. If that's a big deal, then you're that religious. Well, then what you do socially for fun should be doing stuff with church groups, or you're going to a specific church and then doing the activities, because usually most decent sized churches have a lot of social activities that go on other than just the mass and the service that the church gives. They have youth programs, they have Bible study programs, they get together for potluck, they get together for barbecues, and if that's your value system, you got to think about it in terms of fishing. Well, you're wanting a very specific type of fish, so somebody that is going to stay a virgin until marriage or until she meets somebody she really loves, typically is going to be more religious, and that's just what her parents have taught her, and that's her value system. But going on Twitter, going on Tinder, and expecting to find a godly virgin girl that's a good girl is good luck with that. Maybe something like some of those. There's Christian Mingle or Christian dating apps you're going to have on there. But the other thing you got to consider if you're going into church, oftentimes people that had questionable morals and were not didn't always do the best thing in the past, they typically often have a come to Jesus moment in their life, and they're like, okay, I'm going to become super religious, super Christian, no more sex until marriage, that kind of thing. And so there are people like that are kind of running away from something, but they might have a body count of over 100 dudes, but now they found God or they found religion, they got structure in their life, so it's not going to be easy. And finding somebody that's a virgin, that ticks all your boxes, that you actually like hanging out with, that would make a good wife, that's family-oriented, and you like her family and her parents have a good relationship that you'd want to emulate, the daughter, the girl respects the father, the mother respects the father, that's going to be difficult. But good luck. You attract how you act. If you seek, you will find. It's in the Bible.
I mean, he kind of sounded a little superficial. Like, who said that virgins were unattractive?
Yeah.
No,
So
that's
in other
really
words,
what is said in the question.
The mindset is the reason there are no pretty virgins is because, they've all given it up, basically. And the only girls that are still virgins are basically the ugly girls that nobody wants. That's his contention. Part of that is his story and his limiting belief. He's already, in essence, convinced himself that what he's looking for is unrealistic and impossible.
But what about virgin girls that haven't just had sex, period? Maybe they're like 18 and they haven't done it yet.
Church or a very religious school or a religious college. That's where you're going to find somebody like that.
Yeah, but...
Most likely. In other words, that is the pond that you want to fish in if that's the kind of girl you're looking for. If you're hoping to run into a virgin at your local Circle K or a
7-Eleven.
or a grocery store.
There's some people that have, there's some girls that they don't lose their virginity until late. That happens too. So, granted, church is
doesn't
predominant.
happen very often.
Yeah,
That's
church
not very-
church is predominant, but
Rebel Wilson just came out saying that she lost her virginity at 35. She's the girl that played the big girl that's known as Fat Amy in
Oh, yeah?
Pitch Perfect. But she lost a lot of weight.
yeah, she looks
But
really
now
good.
she turned out she's married a woman and has a baby with a woman. But it's like, and everybody's in the comments are saying, that's because you're a lesbian. Like, is that why you haven't had sex? But I
Yeah,
guess
she probably wrestled with her sexuality for a lot
Yeah.
of years. Probably felt a lot of guilt, and then when she was 35, it's like she stopped giving a fuck what other people thought, and started living and speaking her own truth, and whatever floats your boat. I don't care. I'm just a coach. I'm here to help you get what you want. I'm not here to give you your value system, because I'm dealing with people on every continent of the globe, every kind of religious and spiritual background, and so I'm just here to teach you how to get what you want, and then you can fit that into your religious value system and the goals that you have. But don't expect me to live the way you want to live your life.
back on like the Christian and the virginity thing. I remember you saying, I mean, you went to a Catholic high school, and a lot of times the girls were out rebelling against their parents.
Yeah, especially like families that had a lot of money, and the father's very powerful and he's traveling a lot and he's not there. I mean, most of the time the nannies and the hired help are the ones that are spending the most time with the kids. And quite frankly, it's the nannies are the ones that are raising the children. And so the value system of the nannies basically is the value system of the kids. And for a young girl, if her father's never around because he's always away on business and he just delegates that to the nannies, she's obviously going to feel like dad doesn't give a shit. Maybe he's very controlling when he's around, and you should do this and you should do that. But when he's not there, it's like she's rebelling against him.
Yeah. I know a lot of guys, girls that, I mean, when I used to go to church like 3 times a week when I was like in middle school and high school. And so a lot of my friends, we all went to church together, and they were either pastors' daughters or, grew up in the church. And a lot of them, they lost their virginity at a young age, before marriage, at like, like 16
Especially
years
if their
old.
parents are really strict and very controlling, then, the kids, especially the girls, are going to rebel, and, they're going to be sleeping with half the football team just to give dad the middle finger, and dad and mom are never going to have any clue that was happening. And like I said, what I noticed is that, I mean, there was 150, maybe 200 people tops in our particular graduating class, and it's like there wasn't a lot of virgins by the time we graduated high school. And it's like, because they all dated, you knew the girl, you knew the boyfriends that she had over the years, you know who she hooked up with. You'd be at a party and you see them going into a room, and then you hear the stories later. It's like these were supposed to be good Catholic girls, and the image, which is like the Disney image, like in this case, this guy's like, oh, I'm going to find the perfect virgin. It's like you would think that's where, especially being in an affluent area, where for the most part they're coming from good families, because even still a lot of these girls, the parents were very present, but the girls were dating, they had boyfriends, they weren't stupid. They put their daughters on birth control when they were 15, 16 years old, because they knew they're going to be having sex at some point. And so why risk a pregnancy and having to deal with that? It's like they put the kids on birth control. They would advise them, and the girls are going to do what they're going to do.
Yep.